I got a couple of things to say about Ramy. Number one, I've been analyzing, like Milos, his physique. And you know what? He never really had good lower back development. It was better, when he was in 13, but it wasn't like great ever. And it's kind of unusual that he lost, or it seems like he's missing that lower back development symmetrically. When you have an injury or something's going on, usually there's one side that's bigger than the other. Like think about Ronnie Coleman when he started getting that atrophy on one of his lats. His are symmetrical, which tells me maybe it's a training issue with him. Maybe he's just not training those lower lats well, and maybe he's just not lean enough. Look, I've seen people that are emaciatedly skinny who I can see lower lat striations if you get them, because they're so lean. I think if Ramy was drier and leaner, I think we would see more lower back development, and we might not notice his back as deficient, as we're saying it is. When I looked at the pictures of him 1 week out that Dennis notoriously put online, and he looked so good in the video and the pictures, and I'm saying to myself, I just have a feeling that Ramy's not getting lean enough. And because Chad right off the bat said they were playing, he was going to bring him in the biggest Mr. Olympia of all time. And as soon as I heard that, and Nacito and I talked about this, we said, this is a mistake for Ramy. Ramy's got to be the best Ramy, not the biggest, weight wise. You can't try to battle and say, oh, he's bigger than Ronnie Coleman now, because Ronnie had a lot of quality muscle, and his conditioning was ridiculous. I think Ramy needs to come in leaner. I don't think he needs to carb up quite as much as they're carving him up. And I think we'll see a lot more detail in his body, and I think he'll do a lot better. He's already the biggest guy. I mean, so what big deal? Levrone said it best. Levrone said all these guys need to come in about 9 pounds lighter. And if they all came in 9 pounds lighter, we would see the 90s lineups, essentially. He just doesn't think people are getting lean enough. And you know what? I tend to kind of agree with him, not with regard to everyone. There are people that are, like Nick Walker is lean enough, and I think Derek Lunsford was lean enough. But I think a lot of these guys, if they came in, harder, drier, and didn't try to carb up like with the 2,000 grams of carbs a day, I think they might actually look better. And I think that Ramy can come into this show and dominate the show if he comes in shredded to the bone. I just don't know if he's willing to go where he needs to be to get that level of leanness, or if, Chad is going to guide him in that direction, because Chad might think bigger is better. I don't know.